Good morning. It is Sunday. We're in the middle of our long weekend for President's Day. I'm having a good time with my fiance and her family over the weekend, and her we have some pretty close friends in Pennsylvania, and I think we're planning to do some stuff with them Saturday. I say plan to because I'm recording this on Thursday for Sunday and Monday, so that's why it sounds a little weird. But today we have the second half of chapter 17 in Exodus, the Amalekites defeated, and I mean it's pretty much in the title, but let's read these 9 verses and we'll see what it has in store for us. The Amalekites came and attacked the Israelites at Rephidim. Moses said to Joshua, "Choose some of our men and go out to fight the Amalekites. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with the staff of God in my hands." So Joshua fought the Amalekites as Moses had ordered, and Moses, Aaron, and Hur went to the top of the hill. As long as Moses held up his hands, the Israelites were winning, but whenever he lowered his hands, the Amalekites were winning. When Moses' hands grew tired, they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. Aaron and Hur held his hands up, one on one side, one on the other, so that his hands remained steady till sunset. So Joshua overcame the Amalekite army with the sword. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this on a scroll as something to be remembered, and make sure that Joshua hears it, because I will completely blot out the name of Amalek from under heaven." Moses built an altar and called it "The Lord is my banner." He said, "Because hands were lifted up against the throne of the Lord will be at war against the Amalekites from generation to generation." Wow. I mean, it starts out pretty simple, I think, in terms of stories that we've covered so far. I mean, it starts out, right away. The Amalekites came and attacked the Israelites at Rephidim, and Moses said, "Choose some of our men, go out to fight them. I will stand on top of the hill with the staff of God in my hands." So they fight. As long as Moses held up, which is very interesting. That was the first thing I noticed, or wanted to keep track of, was as long as his hands were up with the staff, right? They were winning. And when his hands were down, they were losing. So all he had to do was just keep his hands up with the staff, and they were winning the fight. But then as he retired, they had to go down and they would be losing. That would be so interesting to see happen if you were, Aaron or Hur, or I mean Moses yourself, having that kind of power. Well, obviously God's power, but just, you were the one that it was flowing through. So then they kind of find a little life hack, and they give him a stone. He sits on it, and then Aaron and Hur hold up his hands so he doesn't have to, and then his hands remain steady until sunset. So then Joshua overcame the army with the sword, the Amalekite army. Then the last 3 verses are where it took another turn. I wasn't expecting it. "Write this on a scroll as something to be remembered, and make sure that Joshua hears it, because I will completely blot out the name of Amalek from under heaven." So he's telling Moses to make sure that Joshua hears of it and that you write it down on a scroll, because I'm going to blot it out from everything on earth, like under heaven. So then Moses builds an altar, calls it "The Lord is my banner." Because hands were lifted up against the throne of the Lord will be at war against the Amalekites from generation to generation. So I mean, this isn't just this one fight. This is the Amalekites are screwed. They're going up against God for all of the generations, just because of this one encounter. But it's, I guess, these 9 verses are proof that Moses wrote it down and Joshua heard of it, because it got put in the Bible and we read about it. But that's just crazy. Like, God is going to completely wipe it away from all records, or like nobody will know about it unless Moses writes it down and Joshua hears of it. Wow. And then the eternal struggle with God from the Amalekites. That's so interesting. I mean, why would the Amalekites attack? I mean, just because they were against God? Is that the sole purpose of their, they when they just attack the Israelites? Is that it doesn't specify, because we just went from verse 7, and then that had nothing to do with the Amalekites. And then it just switches over randomly, the Amalekites defeated. And so we have 9 verses of a battle, and they lose, and they will be wiped away from history, except for the 2 sources, and they will be at war with the Lord from generation to generation. So I don't know. That's very interesting. Let me know what you guys think about this one, because I don't remember reading about this, but this is interesting. This is where you first hear Joshua, I believe, by name. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's very intriguing. It's like one of those ones where I wish they would have written more about it, but this is all we get for right now. Because yeah, the next story is not about the Amalekites, at least from the title and what I can see. So we'll get to that one tomorrow, but let me know what you guys think about this one, because this was pretty intriguing to me. Definitely a lot to think about. I might ask my pastor about this one just overall, see what he says. Alright, well, yeah. Hope you guys are going to have a great Sunday, great day off tomorrow if you have the day off. If not, I'm sorry. And, hopefully you can go to work with a smile on your face and it'll be a good day for you. But for those of us who have off, be thankful that we have a day off from our work and that we have a short work week this week. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.